learners, you are welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. I remain my humble self, Kamaldeen Abiono, and today we want to look at indices.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
It's a common topic in mathematics, and I want to believe you will like it, you will love it. All right? So, students will be able to identify and give examples of numbers or expressions in indices. As well, you'll be able to evaluate expression in indices using the laws of indices. Now, what do we mean by indices? Yes, when we say indices, we mean a number in this form. A raised to power m. Don't call it am. It is a raised to the power of m. So we call a is the base. A is called the base. And m is called the index or power or exponent. So it means having this format for indices, we should be able to write examples of numbers in indices. So an example is I can have 2 raised to power 4. This is an example of number in indices. I can have 4 raised to power x. My power x being unknown. I can also write a raised to power 4. So any number in this format is what we call indices. Sometimes we may need to combine so many of them, and that is just what we mean by indices. Now, we want to look at the laws because we want to see how we can combine them together. You can, I know, you can add 2 and 4 together. You can multiply 2 and 4 together. So numbers in indices, you need to know how to multiply them together, how to divide them, basically how to perform some arithmetic operations on them. And that is why we have the rules, the laws. So we have law 1. I've been able to categorize the laws. So in your textbooks, you see some other laws. But I've categorized all the laws under just 4 topics or 4 subheadings. So law 1, a raised power x multiplied by a raised power y. Meaning when you have a base a and power x, base a power y, and you multiply them together. In that case, so it means it will be a raised power x plus y. Just add the powers together and it's enough. Sometimes we can have this form too, which is a multiplied by bc raised power y, also raised power x. You can see it's becoming somehow complicated. No. So it is a, then b raised to power x. You can see a bracket here, meaning that all of them inside this bracket have that power x. So it is b raised power x and c raised power what? Yx or xy. So what we are trying to look at here is everything about products in the rules of indices, because this is also product. So how do we do with it? And that is that. Then we also have x raised power a. You can see here the bases are equal, but here the bases are not equal. So we can also have something of that nature, but in that case the powers will be equal. And that is what you can see. X raised power a multiplied by y raised power a. And in that case, it gives us x times y raised power a. And that is what? Xy raised power a. So let's take some examples on that. All right. So, examples. We want to use the above law to solve some problems. 2 raised power 3 times 2 raised power 4. Can you apply the law on it? We also have 5 raised power 2 times 7 raised power 2. You should be able to apply the law. Yeah? The next one, minus 4y squared, y 2 raised to power, y raised to power what? 2x, x, my raised to power minus 3, also squared. Just feel comfortable. Alright, we can also have a question of this nature. Yes, we have this. So how do we deal with them? Let's take them one after the other. This is very simple. It appears very simple. Just apply the law. 2 raised to power 3 plus 4. And that is 2 raised to power what? 7. Alright, the next one. So that is actually 128 if you need to calculate it. Alright, the next one we have 5 raised to power 2 times 7 raised to power 2, which is application of this law. The bases are not equal, but the powers are equal. So multiply the base, and we have 5 times 7, all raised to power 2. And we have the next one, which is, okay, that will give us 35 squared. We have the next one, which is this. What do we need to do is applying this. First, give all of them their power. That is power 2. Minus 4 raised to power 2. Y raised to power 2x, also raised to power 2. That will give you, where you multiply, just like we have done here, it will give us 4x. Then x raised to power minus 3 times 2, that's minus 6. We may rewrite this, minus 4 raised to power 2 is 16. Y raised to power 4x, x raised to power minus 6. You can see, just follow the rules. Follow the rules. And that is why we have that. The next one, just follow the rules, break them down, collect like terms. 2 raised to power minus 3 times 64. 64 is 2 raised to power 6. Then x raised to power 5 multiplied by x raised to power minus 4. And that will give you that. Okay? So, we have 8s as the answer. The next one, that. Also share that 2x. 2x belongs to everything inside the bracket. So 3 raised to power 2x, y raised to power 2x. Multiply by 4 raised to power x. And 4 raised to power x is same thing as what? 4 is 2 raised to power 2. So that will be 2 raised to power 2 times x. That's 2 raised to power 2x. And with that, what do we do? Power equal power, but different base. So you multiply the base, 3y times 2, all raised to power 2x. And that's that. That's about rule 1. Let's go to rule 2. Rule 2 says it's all about division. How do we divide? A raised to power x divided by a raised to power y. And the result is a raised to power x minus y. Now, look at this. It looks complicated. No. It's all about reversing what we are doing. And that's what we did for rule 1 too. Reverse it. And let's see. So if you have x raised to power, you can see this is a raised to power x minus y. If you have a raised to power x minus y, how do you break it down? A raised to power x minus y. B raised to power p minus q. C raised to power r minus t. We can break it down such that we have a raised to power x, b raised to power p, and c raised to power y, r at the numerator. And all these, a raised to power minus y, b raised to power minus q, c raised to power minus t will come down and it will become a raised to power y. You know, if you from here, I know from the rule 1 or from this rule 2, you can easily do this, which means a raised to power x minus y, b raised to power p minus q, c raised to power r minus t. Alright? So that is that. Then the same thing, we want to apply this. Alright? So let's see how we can apply that. 2 raised to power 7 divided by 2 raised to power 4. Okay? Yes. So how do we do that? 7 minus 4. And that is 2 raised to power 3, which is 8. Okay? The same thing here. Common power. So, alright. And so on and so forth. So, if you apply the rule there, you see the result that is appearing. Alright? So let's go to rule 3. Rule 3 says a raised to power 0 equals is same thing as a raised to power x minus x. X minus x is 0. At the same time, it's still the same thing as a raised to power x divided by a raised to power x. You know, if you apply rule number 2, you have this one to be x minus x. And this divided by this, when you divide anything, when you divide by the number, you divide by the same thing, you get 1. Is that clear? So still under that same rule, we can also say that a raised power minus x is same thing as anytime you have negative power, you turn it upside down and it becomes 1 over a raised power x, which is the same thing as this, a over b raised power minus x. Turn the base upside down and we have b over a raised power x. We have few examples for that. So applying the examples, just apply the division rule and you see the result there. Okay, so let's go to rule number 4. Okay, so rule number 4 is all about fractional power or fractional index. And when you have this, it's not the same thing. Take care. Take note of that. It's not the same thing as a raised by x minus y. No. So when you have this, the denominator represents the root and the numerator is the power. So take note of that. Is that clear? So the same thing here. Even if it is fraction, if you have fractional base and fractional power, it's still the same thing. The denominator is the what? Is the root. And the numerator is the power. So we have this as example. So how do we do this? The 3 here is the what? Is the power, is the root. Third root of 27 raised power 2. And third root of 27, it means a number you multiply by itself 3 times to get 27, that is 3 squared. Fourth root of 81, a number you multiply by itself 4 times to get 81, that is 3, so cube. And you get the result for that. So you have 3 raised power 2 minus 3, and that is 3 raised power minus 1, which is same thing as 1 over 3. Okay, so I will leave that. Others one you can also go through them. Okay, so the practice question now. So based on what we have done so far, we want to see how we can use the knowledge of the 4 rules that we have looked at. The 4 rules that we have looked at, we want to see how we can apply those rules on this one. So just 60 seconds for that. You are welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the question. Okay, so let's go together. All right. So how do we solve this? Simplify. Square root of 125, x raised power 3, y raised power minus 3. So what do? We need to first separate the numbers, collect like terms. So we have 125 divided by 5. X raised power 3 According to law of indices, this is division. That is rule number 2. This is raised power 1 here, so it means minus 1. Y raised power minus 3 minus 5. And that is square root of 25, x raised power 2, y raised power minus 8. Don't forget, this is square root. And according to that particular rule, the rule on the root, that is the rule number 4. So in that case, what do we do? The square root of 25 is 5. And that rules, when you want to apply it, it says this one is same thing as the denominator of the fractional power. So it means you have x raised power 2. Because of this, you say divided by 2. Yes, because this is invisible 2 here. This is y raised power minus 8 divided by 2, just because of this square root. Okay? So what's the result of that? The result is 5 x y raised power what? Minus 4. So you can leave it like this, or based on the part of the rules that we have looked at. When we have negative power, that's rule number 3 also. In that case, when you apply, it will come down. You turn it upside down. Whatever that has power, and here it is only y that is having negative power of 4. So in this case, negative, that's minus 4. So you can rewrite it and say y raised to power 4. So either way, we can leave our answer. I want to believe that with this video simple explanation on indices, you must have learned a very important aspect of mathematics. So if there are comments, questions, observations, you can always make use of our social media handles displayed on the screen. Thank you. Have a nice time.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.